Hi everyone, just a quick video on the car air conditioning system, how it works and the major parts and what their purpose is in this system. So I've got the full air conditioning system out of a 2000 or nearly 2000 Honda Civic, and I'm just going to go through the parts, what purpose they are and what happens to the refrigerant as it goes around the circuit, so around the system. So first of all, we've got the compressor. I've done a detailed video already on how to test these, but the compressor is basically the pump for the system. It's got a pulley that runs off the engine auxiliary belt. As it spins round, it powers the pump. So with the aircon off, this will spin freely without turning the shaft inside. When you turn on the aircon, it powers an electromagnet which sits behind the pulley. That pulls in this, which is your clutch plate, a clutch for the aircon pump, and it locks it together. That then turns as one unit, and that powers the shaft, which then obviously powers the compressor. So the compressor receives cold, low temperature, low pressure refrigerant. As it leaves, it's high pressure, high temperature, and it comes through this pipe here up to the condenser. So the condenser acts just like a coolant radiator. It gets cold air driven from the vehicle's movement, put across it, and that takes the temperature but not the pressure out of the refrigerant. As the temperature drops, it goes through a change in state. So it enters as gas and it leaves as liquid. As the temperature drops, it turns to a liquid. So on the way out, it goes through a temperature sensor, so it will decide whether, or it will take a reading as to whether the cold air being driven across it is enough. If not, just like a radiator, it'll turn the fan on to drive some more cold air against the condenser. So by the time it leaves the condenser here, what we've got is high pressure liquid. It travels through these aluminium pipes to the next component. Aluminium's used because it's good at not transferring heat across itself, so or temperature changes, so we want to control the temperature in this particular system. So next component is this, it's the dryer receiver. So the dryer receiver, it receives a now high pressure liquid. If any of the gas hasn't been fully converted at this point, the dryer receiver will then is effectively a filter, and it will filter out any more vapours that haven't been converted to liquid. You've got a looking glass here at the top, hopefully you can see. If that gets foggy, it means that the filter's full and it'll need replacing. So this was okay, obviously, or it was okay before I came out of the car. So on to the next bit. So we leave the dryer receiver, move across the aluminium line all the way to the back end. So this is the brake where the firewall is. So this is inside the car. This is where the dashboard is. This would be engine bay side. So that's the joint for the firewall at the back of the engine bay. Next thing it comes through here is the expansion valve. So at the moment it's still high pressure and it's a liquid. When it goes through the expansion valve, this high pressure liquid's allowed to open up into a wider pipe. So it goes from narrow space to a wider space. That takes the pressure out of it instantly. So now we've got a liquid that's had the pressure taken out of it, and that massive pressure drop cools it even further to the cold that we need for the air conditioning. It then passes through into the evaporator here. So the evaporator sat on the dashboard, a fan blows across the evaporator, and now that cold liquid is blowing cold air into the cabin, and some of the heat in the cabin will be also drawn into and collected by this. The other state of change happens here. So a cold liquid goes in, the fan blows cold air into the cabin, and then by the time it leaves, it's gone back to a gaseous state, because as the pressure drops, it's allowed that liquid to expand again into a gas. So the gas leaves here, goes down the next set of pipes, and then back onto the compressor again. So the compressor obviously receives that cooling low pressure gas to then cycle it again, increase the pressure, and do it all over again. I hope that makes sense, and I will see you on the next one.